Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am called Patience Mutoni and I am here to share with you about hospitality and how to make your hotel, your restaurant or your lodge better. It is possible, it is doable, but it requires some work. So let's get right into my next topic. My next topic is hospitality and hiring the right employees and staff. It is very, very, very important who you hire, when you hire them, and how you hire them. It determines whether your customer comes back or not. Because like I said, hospitality is about people, people working with you, people working for you, suppliers supplying you goods and services, supplying you the ketchup you use in your restaurant, supplying you the towels you use, supplying you the fish that you serve your customer, supplying you the steak and everything. Then you hire employees. They are the ones who serve the food. Because you can be a director, you will be very well equipped, but you cannot serve every customer. It means that you require a team. So how do we hire the right team? Before we go there, let's remember, you might be frustrated right now with your restaurant, or you are tired of it. The clients are not there. The clients are always complaining. They always have sorts and sorts of things to give you. Feedback is terrible. Attitude of employees is negative. But guess what? The truth is that you have created it, you have accepted it, and you have not done anything about it. What can I do? If you're asking yourself what you can do, what can I do about where I am today? You can change. Culture can be changed. The culture starts and ends with the employees. So I am going to share with you why your employees are not performing. One of the reasons and the mistakes that we make while employing is the biggest challenge that leads to very poor customer service. There are quite a number, but I picked out 5, the kinds of people that we hire. We hire incompetent employees. We hire employees who lack skill, who lack knowledge, and who lack judgment. Because if an employee of a restaurant, like a waitress, lacks judgment, guess what? The client will complain and you will never hear of that complaint because they do not care at all. They don't have the skill. They don't even know what product comes with what. Like, there are normally clients who say, I wonder, I asked this waitress to recommend a meal and they told me they've never eaten anything. That is purely a lack of knowledge, a lack of skill, and a lack of judgment. So you're hiring incompetent employees. If you change that, I promise you, it will change. The whole organization will change for the better. The number 2 reason why you're going through what you're going through in your recruitment process, it is because you hire quickly. You want to hire in 1 week and open in 1 week. You're hiring quickly and rushingly. Hospitality is about people, making people feel at home, giving people care. So how are you going to have people from the industry coming from different homes, coming from a different restaurant and a different hotel, and you hire them into your new lodge and you give them a task of beginning in less than 1 day? That is really already a recipe for disaster. That's already the catalyst that leads to the disaster that you face, because that employee has no knowledge, has no skill. Even if they have no culture yet, because you have employed them and immediately you have not done background checks. You just meet the person once and employ them and say the job is given to you. No, you need to do your due diligence. You need to do background checks on the employees. You need to ask the employees relevant questions. You're hiring rushingly. It means that you want to hire 40 people in 1 month. It's not possible, because in 1 month, hiring 40 people and training them, onboarding them, training them into the culture of the organization is quite impossible. So you're hiring incompetent people was our number 1. Number 2, you're rushing while hiring. You don't do background checks. You don't see if the person is a thief or not. You don't check on their referees to go back and check on the track record. It's important that you do those background checks. You're hiring under disaster. You hire because there is a need. No, you always have to have a database of at least 20 employees extra in case what if the entire team decides today they're not going to come to work? Will you close? No, you should be having backup of employees who are already trained in the culture, who are already trained in the system, and so that in case one goes off, the replacement is very, very, very easy. Number 3, why you're hiring wrongly or you are making mistakes while hiring is because you hire relatives. A relative is a good person. A relative, in terms of family, is a person that you share blood with. But trust me, when it comes to business, a relative is far from the right employee. A relative is very, very, very far from the right employee. I've interacted with a number of brands. One of the causes of their downfall are relatives. So my dear viewer, please, when you're hiring, hire professional labor. Hire employees who you can say today, you know what, you have performed well, but you have failed to reach my standard, and I would like to give you maybe a month so that I can let you go. But is it easy to even let go of a relative? It is very hard. Relatives have a poor attitude. Relatives spoil the culture of the hotel or organization or restaurant. Relatives are entitled. Relatives do not care. At least that's my biggest experience. And I know you could be there. It could be that it is in your supermarket. You hired your relative. Trust me, you can change that. They are good employees, but it doesn't mean that the employees you have are doing you good. They could be doing you harm. Check. Next time you're hiring a relative, think about this video because it's important to know what kind of employee you're employing, because it's very important to hire competence over favoritism. The next reason why you're making mistakes while hiring your employees, you're hiring employees with an unattractive character. There is a difference between an attractive character and an unattractive character. One has positive attitude, another one has negative attitude. One is intentional about work, another one checks out before you even employ them. And you can tell even during the interview process. You ask certain questions and the way the employee answers you or the interviewee answers you really shows that the person is not going to be a good employee. But because you don't want to do the work of checking and recruiting out more, spending more time on that process, you end up settling with the average or even below average. So you must have because hospitality is relations. It is what the customer, it's not your food. It's what the customer carries away in their heart after they have interacted with your brand. So next time you're employing, think about the fact that you must have an employee who has a beautiful, attractive character. Beautiful, attractive character means that employee has a positive attitude, because attitude is everything. A positive attitude is very different from a negative attitude. So you should be able to sieve through, look at your entire organization from the CEO, COO, general manager, manager, heads of department, supervisor, the low-level management. Look at them, the waiters, the stewards, the cleaners. Look at your entire organization and see who are the people who are chasing away your customers, because the people are in your brand. It could be you yourself. Maybe you're the toxic one. So you have to know where is the problem. But it also goes back to who are you entrusting your brand with. That person must be attractive. That person must be responsible. That person must be disciplined. So we will look at that later on. The next reason why you're making mistakes while hiring, you're hiring people based on emotions and for the wrong reasons. You hire people because someone recommended them and you don't even do research. You don't take your time to ask the person questions. You just say, you know what? Come, And when they come, you call them, they come to your brand, you look at them, you don't ask them any question you like, just start. You've not taken them through culture, you have not onboarded them, you have not given them what your vision is, because you as the owner of that hotel, the owner of that resort, the owner of that lodge, the owner of that restaurant, for sure, it should hurt you when you're paying salary out of your pocket. It should hurt you when you're paying money that you're not even earning because of your employees. I believe that every brand in Kampala, in Uganda, can become a better brand, but it starts with the choice of employees that you put on board, because it is the beginning. Many of you directors and bosses think that the best is how the business looks like, the structures. You invest over 200, 150 million in your beautiful restaurant, in your hotel. And guess what? It is very, very beautiful, seated sometimes even on over 600 million. But guess what? 0 customers. Ask yourself, where am I going wrong? If you need help, kindly email me or contact me, because I will be able to check and see where the problems are. Most times, most of the businesses, especially hospitality, is going down because of people, because of employees, because of the managers, and most of all, because of the directors. Please, let's see, why do we hire wrongly? Maybe you're not supposed to be hiring. You're a director. It doesn't mean every role that's in the job is for you to do. No, learn to delegate. Get a PA. If you don't know hospitality, get someone who is good at hospitality to do for you all this work, to create for you training programs, to have an in-house training program. You're investing more and more money into your business, but you're not investing in the system. And I believe that it is the system that creates the business. It's the system that creates the revenue. It is the system that creates the brand that brings the reputation. So is your brand building a good reputation or bad reputation? It starts and begins with the employees you put on board. The next reason why you could be hiring wrongly is because you are really, really, really very used to cheap labor. Very, very used to cheap labor. One day I went for an interview and the lady asked me, how much money would you like? And when I told the lady my fee, the lady said, are you sure? I was like, yes. Why? She was very surprised because she had never seen anyone who asks for that much money. Of course, I didn't get the job. Maybe it's because she was so used to cheap labor. One of the reasons that's why you're suffering in your brand. You're making a lot of money and underpaying your employees. You're hiring very, very cheap labor. And after hiring them, you don't empower them. So they have no reason. You've not bought their heart. They're just there to survive and get by, but you haven't really hacked into their heart. Because if you buy someone's heart, whether you are around or not, they will deliver. Please, when you're hiring, choose to hire the right labor with the right amount. You should always avoid exploitation, because already when you hire cheap labor, you bring people from the village, you bring someone from Masaka to come and serve. I'm sorry for people from Masaka, but you bring someone from any village to come and serve, and you have not even trained them. They don't even know what goes in a smoothie. Someone can ably ask you here in a restaurant when you go for dinner or tea, or would you like smoothie with sugar or not? Purely, it's a lack of knowledge, and it's because that labor is cheap. If I ask you how much you're paying them, you're going to tell me 300. But honestly, if you put yourself in the shoes of the employee you're paying 250 and 300, and you're doing nothing to empower them, would you really contribute as much as they are contributing? So sometimes quit hiring cheap labor, because it is costing you. You built your restaurant, you've built your hotel, it's over 400 million, and you're hiring cheap labor. Guess what? The results always speak for themselves. So after sharing all those reasons, I'm going to share with you how to make the right decisions while recruiting, while hiring your next employees. Even when considering which people you need the right team. You need the right team. You need the right team. The right team will play wonders for you. You will be having a good night's sleep when your team is performing exceptionally, but it starts with who do you recruit, how do you recruit them, and what's the process of onboarding. So you might be asking, what should I do to improve my hiring process, or what should you do? If you have no time, number one, if you are sure you have no time to concentrate on the recruitment, outsource the recruitment. Hire a recruitment company that is very good with hospitality employees, that will give you value for your money, that will give you the right employees to recruit for you. Number two, get professional employees. Professional employees are there. Get adverts out there and get professional employees. And if you're getting professional employees and you as the director or as the hiring manager, you are not trained enough, it is well, just keep learning about the industry that you're in. You could say, I am going to set aside 30 minutes to learn about the industry I am in. I am the hiring manager. Learn something. Number two is get professional employees. Number three, get prepared for the interviews. Before you hire, get prepared. If you're hiring a waitress, what questions do you ask her? What values does she have? Some of the questions I ask employees, what are your values? What is your vision? Because it's important to know what kind of character you're putting in your business. Because if she has no vision, if she has no values, guess what? It's going to be evident in her service delivery to your customers. And at the end of the day, first impression lasts. So once the client has gone and they had a bad experience, you have lost over 50 clients from that customer. Think with the end, even when you're recruiting. Number four, get prepared for the interviews. For you're hiring employees. Do you know what you're supposed to ask them? If you're hiring a chef, a sous chef, a head chef, a cook, a line cook, a steward, you're hiring that person, but you're also hiring their personality. Get to know what personality this employee brings. Then another thing to look out for, number five, is make sure that you separate your employees from your relatives. Separate your relatives from your job or your business. If you cannot have that separation principle, it is going to always just spoil the culture in your organization. Number six, find out the competence of your employees. Competence, again, is skill, knowledge, and judgment. Find out the competence of those three whenever you're recruiting. Find out what's the skill level. What's the level of education? What is this employee's traumas? They are important, you must know. Because many individuals, we all have traumas. But you must know them so that you know whether this character is a people person, this character is a reserved person, or this person is very shy. You might not know, but you have to keep on asking and asking and asking. Number seven, have an onboarding process. An onboarding process is an integrating process where your new employees are taught the culture, the vision, the values of your restaurant, of your hotel, of your lodge. Imagine you employ me and I come from a certain brand X, and then I come, or let's say I am coming from Buvi Lodge, Entebbe. When I come from that lodge and you put me in your Imperial Resort or Imperial Royal to work, I must come to Imperial Royal and know the culture there. And you have taught me, and you have taken me through every process, including clocking in, clocking out. Effects of clocking in and clocking out on time. You have to show me who to report to. You have to tell me what reports I must make daily. You must tell me if I find no culture, no vision, no values, I am going to come with my own culture from Buvi Lodge and I dump it into Imperial Resort. And that means it's going to become a mob. Employee one came from Buvi Lodge. Another employee came from Protea Hotel. The other employee came from Serena Hotels. The second manager came maybe from Kenya with their own culture. The employees, the lower level managers came from another brand. And then you see inside there will be a mob. Everyone is struggling. There is no peace. There is just, basically it's a mob. You have created a mob at your workplace. Trust me, you will not be at peace as the boss in a few months or in a few years, because you have not hired using the right criteria and you don't have the right onboarding process. Never ignore the purpose of onboarding your employees correctly. Number 8, have an in-house training program. Every day, ask yourself, when did I last train these employees I have? When did I last train this waiter? When did I last train this chef? When did I last train the managers? When did I ask yourself those questions? It's going to show you where you are. So then the next, you must have the right management. You must be the right boss. You must have the right management. But again, far away from the management, you must be the right employee. Because if you're not the right employee, you're just living on a time bomb. Soon or later, people will know that you're not the right employee, you're inconsistent, you don't mean what you say, you are rude to customers, you complain all the time, and then eventually you will lose your job. Be the right employee, be the right boss, but above all, hire the right people. Thank you so much. See you in my next video.